Oh, am I live? Is anybody out there in the world today? Anybody out there? Well, I don't know if anyone's out there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to be eating some sushi. So if anyone is here, can you please say hello? I have sushi and let me see my sushi. Okay, I have my sushi here. I have salmon. I have this bowl, and then I have the salmon with the. This is actually what really sushi is called, with the rice on the bottom, and I have some wasabi, and I have some soy sauce. And I have my chopsticks. I have like custom chopsticks. So I'm gonna see if anyone shows up. If anyone is in the world, I'll say hi. Otherwise, I'll just talk to myself. I do a good job at talking to myself, so I don't really mind. I see there is one person here, but I guess they're not going to say hello, but it's okay too. I'm going to stay on, and hopefully just any random person who wants to connect with me can. I am here in my house. This is the room that I work in. It's supposed to be my office / beauty room that I'm working on. So right now I'm working from home. So this is where I've been for the last month, over a month. I've been working here. I don't mind working from home. It's actually pretty good. It's nice. I don't have to cook. I couldn't go to work if I wanted to because New York City is under forced shutdown. Water in my Starbucks cup. It's forced shutdown for, and only essential workers are allowed to really come and go in the city right now. So the entire firm that I work for, we're all, people are different places. You have people that are in Manhattan, and then the different boroughs, and also Jersey, like I said, where I am. And it's a few people work in Connecticut. I think the majority of the people are, New York and New Jersey. So I love raw sushi. I know some people don't really like that. They don't want to hear that, but I love it. So when they made the decision for us to work from home, I was already working from home. I had been working from home maybe about a week or so before the rest of my staff. There were just a few of us, and then everyone, because they had to close the building down. All the buildings, really. Wow. So I think when they closed that building down, it was, I don't know, a Thursday maybe. And I think that was the 13th or whatever. I can't. I'm gonna look at my calendar. I'll go backwards. Yeah, I think it was like the 12th or the 13th or something like that. And the other, I think the order to actually shut down everything for except for non-essentials was on the 16th, which was a Monday. But I had already been home for, I think the last day I was there. Time is so crazy right now. I don't even know. It's hard to even remember what day it is, but I think that my last day was like maybe March 5th. I don't know. It might have been before. It might have been the 9th. I don't know. But it was crazy. So now we're on lockdown. There's lots of people. I mean, I know of people who have passed, friends of friends. It's horrible. It's a horrible situation where healthcare workers are put in an unbelievable position to risk their lives to save others. People passing away without their family members is very sad. My mom, as a matter of fact, she had a friend that we found out. My mom talked to her on March the 20th. I'm sorry, March the 20th. And within 2 weeks, she had passed away, and we didn't even know she was sick. So right after she talked to my mom, so my mom had been in the hospital for something else. And right before all this really kicked off. So, hello, host, Great Monday. Hello, Kinky Lots. Oh, look at you. You're beautiful. Hello. Excuse me. I'm just eating some sushi. Got my sushi here. And I'm just talking about my situation, working from home and, us being kicked out of New York. Oh, thank you. Where are you, if you don't mind me asking? What part of the country are you in? Are you guys in lockdown too? I'm in Jersey. It's crazy over here. I went out for the first time yesterday in weeks. I think it was 3 weeks. Oh, you're in Hampton, Virginia. Oh, okay. It's nice down there. It's nice in Virginia. I like it down there. Oh, you were born and raised in Jersey. Cool. Cool. It's cold up here now. Well, I think it warmed up a little bit, but it's been so cold lately. Like it was 30 degrees Saturday and Sunday morning, 30 degrees. I think one morning it was even like 20 something degrees. It was ridiculous. It was crazy. And when I went to go to Walmart yesterday, it was too cold and the line was long and outside line. So we didn't go. We wound up going to Target because they only had 2 people in line. Too much. So, how do you like working from home? I love working from home. I had access to work from home, or I had access to the network before. A lot of people that I work with just recently got it when they decided that, when it was we knew that we couldn't work when they couldn't work in the office anymore. So that was, so I think some people are getting adjusted to it. Some didn't, I don't think they wanted to do it. But I live pretty far. I'm in Central Jersey. So, I mean, it's a good commute for me. So this is much better because I'm right here at the house. So, but I do miss the city because, I love it there. It's, it's exciting, but right now I'm terrified to go back. hmm I haven't done a video. I wasn't doing videos for so long because I had started. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, I love it. I love it too. I don't know when we are going to be going back. They keep changing it, and I think most of the people, I think the firm that I work for, they're going to be pretty responsible because they were really generous with us in the beginning because they gave us options weeks before. If you wanted to, work from home, you could. So I took that option because I had a long commute and I wasn't feeling well, and there was many ways to get infected in my commute on the bus, walking or the subway. So I decided to stay home. And you know, I have a, we have a type of job that we really can do it from home. So we're still basically doing what we were doing in the office, but just doing it at home. Mm. So Kinky Locks, do you have a channel, or are you just surfing around? Oh, Everpeel. Hi. Great to see you back in action. Thank you. I don't have my glasses on. They're over here, so I'm trying to read over here. It is a blessing. Oh my goodness. I was sharing earlier that pretty much all my friends who aren't in law um, or the medical field, like healthcare, which they are risking their lives, education, and maybe like in banking or finance, but pretty much almost all of my friends who are outside of those areas are laid off right now. And it's so hard because you feel guilty. I guess I don't know if you should say guilty, but you feel empathy for them um, because I don't want to be on unemployment or trying to figure out how to get on unemployment and stuff like that, because I know that they said that some of the lines were so flooded they couldn't get through. And then just the stress of knowing how you're going to pay your bills, your mortgage, car note, rent, whatever you have. That's kind of scary. So yeah, I don't want to I don't want to be in that position. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Um, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes, I can imagine with all the patients. Oh wow. Well, that's I mean, I'm glad that you guys are able to continue to work. Of course none of us, we feel horrible about the situation, but that's not having that stress on you and your family is it really, really a blessing. And um I know there are people that are, sort of like protesting, rioting. They want to go back to work. I mean, it's understandable on one end, but not on the other, because, there's a reason why we're staying at home. And it's to keep not only you safe, but everyone else safe too. Your loved ones, people in your community. So, I'm hoping they don't rush back. Right now, Governor Cuomo, Governor Murphy, Governor Lamont, and New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, and I think some of the others. I believe maybe even Rhode Island and Massachusetts. They're kind of up higher than us, and I think also they included Pennsylvania the last time. But anyway, the governors are trying to work together to come up with a good plan. They definitely are going to need a coordinated effort in New York and New Jersey and Connecticut because of the way people move through those states, and so many people in Jersey work in New York, and lots of people in New York work in Jersey. So they're going to have to come up with something together. So, and places like where you are, you Virginia, you have the beaches, they're going to have to be careful, because the last thing we want is like a second wave of this, and I don't know if the country would survive that, but you have very irresponsible people out here, and including the president making, crazy choices and just saying crazy things from his pulpit. So we just have to pray and hope that the governors, continue to make the right choices and kind of ignore him. But, I know they need him for resources, and he's the type of person that unless you, acknowledge him, he won't give you those resources. So that's crazy. So Emma Peel, how are you doing? How are you holding up? I know you are a fellow New Yorker. And Kinky Locks, is your till June 10th? Excellent. See, we don't really have a date. The last date that I know Cuomo said, as far as coming to the city, was May 15th. And I think they're kind of inching people along, so it's just not a big, not surprised, but, I don't know, whatever, because people are right now, a lot of them, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that, we're going to be out that long. But I think June 10th is even a conservative date, Yeah, only essential workers. Yeah, that's how it is here too. The thing is, though, when people because I went out and we have the grocery stores, and then you have stores like Walmart and Target. So, and then they still have the fast food places and restaurants open where you could just drive up. You have to drive up and get your food. So it's not as restrictive as people say. I mean, it's for our own good. I remember hearing about the flu of 1918, but I mean, I didn't really remember it. I knew that there was some kind of plague type of flu back then, and I watched a documentary the other day. It was horrible, and it's almost like the same type of thing as this, and how fast it spread, because of course they didn't have the information that we have now to know what was happening overseas and the testing. I mean, it was going on for so long, they didn't even know, because it was isolated in different parts. I think it was like Kansas, and then the Spanish flu. Right. And I heard about it, but I didn't know the devastation. It was unbelievable. Like 600 and something thousand Americans died, almost 700,000 people. It was really, it was bad. So, these things, I mean, it's happened before, but, Fortunately, this time around, even though we have the technology, a lot of people weren't taking it seriously. In the very beginning, I know my daughter was really serious about it. And I was like, oh well, okay, that's going on, but I didn't know that it would turn out like this, you know. And I think because the governors moved fast, especially here in New York and New Jersey, in our area, because it was really about to be crazy spread here. By them locking down, I know Cuomo, the day that he said that the National Guard was coming to New Rochelle and that those people were going to be quarantined because there was a big outbreak there, that's when I was like, okay, that it was going to be really bad. So, excuse me. Really crazy. But I feel like so many people were people in positions of leadership. Like there were some ministers that told people, don't worry about it, had services, and they died. They wound up catching it and died. So, hopefully people, will get a grip before it affects their family, because sometimes that's what it takes. People don't believe until it's them. So Kinky Locks, what kind do you have a natural hair by your name? Do you have a natural hair channel? What type of channel do you have? Nikki Chung. Hey Nikki, how are you today? Foxy Politics. That's my thing. Oh my goodness, it's so much going on. The whole, the elections. Well, my predictions were all right. So I have people, my friends, not friends, but people that I know on Facebook, they're mad because I was telling them this is how it's gonna be. Mm-hmm. I love sushi so much that I could eat sushi every day. Really. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Well, one thing I would like to say about the governors, most of the governors, not all of them, because some of them, they're beholden to Trump. And like I said, he's the type of person who would make you acknowledge him before he would give resources. But some of the Republican governors are really hanging in there. Locks, lifestyle, inspiration, holistic health. Oh, okay, cool. I apologize if I was following you before, because once I got home and I was sick and I wasn't really doing anything. I don't know I didn't know what was going on, because I had started getting really active just before I got sick and we went off. But I will definitely check you out. Cool. Emma Peel, I'm doing well, thank you. Just terribly depressed and worried about all the worldwide terror affecting victims' families. Oh, yeah, I know. I know it's really sad. It's really sad, but we can try to hold out hope that we're going to come out on the other side of this, because when I was watching a documentary of 1918, can you imagine? Those people had oh, thank you. Matter of fact, let's see. Oh, can I do it while I'm on the phone? While I'm on this thing? I don't know. Oh, I don't want to mess up here. No, because it says put in timeout, report removed. No, I'll do it later. But Yeah, those people had no hardly, I mean, compared to now, they didn't have the same type of resources that we have, and they made it. So I'm like, we'll make it through this, but there's a lot of devastation, not only just um, physically, but if you think of the financial burden on families, that if you have a husband and a wife and they both have lost their job, or they both, or one of them, because most people in the United States, you know, we are, I'm sorry, paycheck to paycheck, you know, so, maybe, make it through one or two, but then after that, what do you do? So, this is going to affect a lot of people, because if they lost their job and the job is not coming back, and this just happened out of nowhere. If you think, I was looking the other day and I was like, oh my God, like a month ago, just a little while ago, it was like Valentine's Day. And on Valentine's Day, that weekend, the weekend before that, excuse me, the weekend before that, my daughter and I we went to the opera, and I don't even remember. It wasn't even like a thing at that point. It was, you knew about what was going on in China. And I don't even know if it had been that at that point. I think it may have started in Italy, but it was maybe the very beginning. So, just that was, just, you know, a little while ago, a month, 2 months ago, but it just seems like it just seems like it was yesterday. And, the world just changed so fast. I take a private bus to work, and the guys, the drivers, the mechanics, the ladies that sell the tickets, the cleaners, everyone, that whole company just shut down, and they sent everyone to unemployment. That's devastating. That's devastating, because most of those drivers are immigrants. There are a lot of Africans. There are a lot of people from the Caribbean, just South America, um, Mexico. So there are a lot of first generation, very, very hardworking people, who, could work unlimited. They made a lot of overtime, and, very hardworking people. So now they don't have jobs. They don't have jobs. And when you're around people like that, you see the same people every day. When you're, after a while, they sort of become like family, because you see them every day, and, you get to know them. So it's really, it's just super sad. It's super sad. Um, let's see. My sleeping is affected by the endless horrors I read and hear about. I stay awake a lot, where before I was able to sleep for hours. Well, Emma Peel, yeah, I totally understand, because it is a scary thing. And then because we're home, the sleeping is just like you sleep. I already work overnight, so I'm usually up during the day, and then I have to go to sleep. But my daughter, who's a college student, sometimes she tries to stay up with me while I'm on the computer, or she had been. Her whole sleep pattern is off. She's sleeping now. She's been getting up, because all the classes are online now. So she just gets up and, works on her, her assignments, and then, she'll try to stay up. And with me, it's crazy. But again, I know, and also I was watching. I don't know if you guys saw Susie Orman, the financial guru. She was on Tamron Hall. Oh, I love Tamron. She was on Tamron Hall's show and was suggesting that people not pay their bills. Like, they can't get the stimulus money, hold on to it, and don't pay their bills. Okay, let me tell you something. I don't know like I said, I don't know where Susie Orman lives or how she lives, but regular people should not follow that advice. Because, yeah, right now, the utility companies are not cutting people off. The cable companies are not cutting people off. Now, I know the car people don't care because I have a I have a car note, and it's so funny because they did send out something saying that they weren't going to be able to offer anyone anything except, I guess, if you wanted to like rework it or put like something, your payment at the end or whatever. And then there was a lot of stuff you had to go through with that. But, mortgage companies, and for people paying rent, I'm just really hoping that some of these landlords are understanding. But then on the other side, some of the landlords have mortgages. So that's crazy. But, anyway, Susie Orman was telling people not to pay their bills, and that at the end of this, that the bill collectors will work with you. So first of all, Susie Orman is bugging because I don't know if she's ever had the bill collecting people call her. I didn't always pay my bills on time. So I know what it's like. Those people are relentless. And right now they're not working. So when they come back to work, they're going to be fresh and ready to, harass people. So you have to, and I, even though they said they're not cutting you off, like I'm paying my bills as long as, because I'm still getting paid. So I'm going to pay them because I feel, I don't know if this is going to happen, but this is what I think. Once they lift that ban that, okay, we're no longer going to protect people, they're going to want their money, and they're going to want all the money. It's not like they're saying, okay, so from whatever, March to June or July, however long we're going to be off, you don't have to pay. They're going to be like, okay, so you owe for February, March, April, May, and June. Right now, if you haven't started working again, now you got 5 months of a bill that if it's $200 a month, that's $1,000 for one bill. Then, the cable, the light and gas, whatever. That's ridiculous. Agreed. As you stated, her advice is off how she's speaking. Exactly. And then she was like, this is the time to charge it, use your credit cards and charge them up. I'm like, why would you give people that type of advice? To me, if you get that stimulus or whatever the money, you take that money, and even if you got to split it up and give them something, but to sit there and think that we are not getting forgiven, like there were other countries, I believe, Spain and Italy, where they actually, the mortgage companies, the renters, everyone, they forgave their bills, which means that they didn't have to, like, you no longer in longer in life are you responsible for May, June, July. That's it. We're just wiping that out. That's not happening here. They're just saying, okay, for right now, we're not going to cut you off. That's what they're offering. So for her to tell people that, and I think people actually follow her, and I know that my mortgage company, they have some sort of, I was reading on their website, but it didn't quite, I was reading and reading and reading, and at the end, something didn't sound right to me. So, I'm like, look, as long as I have it and I'm blessed to have it, I'm going to pay them, because I was telling someone, first of all, being African American, I'm a single African American woman. They'd be happy to snatch this house from me because, and then they'll be like, oh, well, they couldn't afford it. That's what, I feel like there's a money grab, a money shift, generational stuff that's about to go on. Like they're taking advantage of this situation. So we have to really be mindful. And those of us who are blessed to continue to work, we have to, we might be the only ones there to hold our families down. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen, because even if they open up the economy tomorrow, people are still everybody's not going to go back to work. What does that mean? Open up the economy? That's not even really a thing to do when so many jobs they're already gone now, so this is really something that we're going through, the country, the world. But you know, we've had disasters before. We made it through, but it's gonna be really tough. It's gonna be really tough, and I think maybe people have learned lessons. Hopefully, I know a couple of years ago I started saving, and I like to spend money. I like to shop, 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 shop. But I also save. I mean, I save as soon as I get paid. I have some of my money that I save, and I don't mess with it. So that's something my grandmother, used to, really, really preach when I was little. And I've been forced to stay on top of my bills. It's only because I work with mom. This is not everybody's situation. Exactly, exactly. Because also working from home, you're spending less money, right? My commute, the commute into Manhattan one way on the bus is $12. Coming back another $12. So that's $24 for that one trip. If you're going to take the bus in the city, where I work like 10 blocks from Port Authority. So I mean, I started walking before. I used to jump in a cab, that could be $8, give them a tip. Then the subway or the bus is like $2.75. So that adds up. And then it's super expensive in Manhattan to eat. I mean, and then you're working at night, there's only, not a lot of options, but we use Seamless and Grubhub because, you don't want to be going out, at 1 o'clock in the morning. So you use Grubhub, you use Seamless, and then you have to pay the delivery fee. They always have a little $3 delivery fee. Then you have to give them a tip, and then there's tax. And then by the time you order a sandwich, it's $25, and it's ridiculous. So it is really super expensive. The train is even worse. I think the train is like $19 each way. Driving, I will have to pay for the turnpike, and the gas, parking, or the parking part is stressful. I can park in front of my job, but I have to run up and down. I work on the 45th floor, so I'm going back and forth, trying to see if that's too much. So yes, this is a lot more. This is a lot cheaper, and I'm telling you, Kinky girl, I would love to keep it this way as far as my work. I don't know what they're gonna do. I would hope that at some point we can, they will discuss something. They'll discuss with us to see. I know some people prefer to work in the office because you don't always know people's situation. They can have roommate. They can maybe not have a dedicated space, so they don't feel comfortable. Like, I love coming in this room. I love it in here. I'm trying to hook it up as nice, as cozy. So I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go nowhere. But yeah. So it's this is really something that we are about to go through. We just have to try to keep, mental health right now is really important, because I remember like that first week when I was off, and I was like, oh my goodness, I was thinking about people who are in domestic violence situations, what they maybe must be going through, children who sometimes their only escape is school, and now you're stuck, and I think even people who are in good relationships, when you're stuck with somebody all the time, your spouse, it may not, and then you got, and kids, you got a lot of kids, this is stressful. This is something that people haven't planned for. So this is just, it's the shock of everything. And, I think I was reading last week that they were saying that domestic violence calls were up. They were up. And I'm just praying for those men and women who are in those situations, and God for those children, because not everybody is in a happy environment, and to have something as horrible as this happen, and then on top of that to not be safe at home, that's very scary. I know in New York they had, as far as like for food and things like that, not Governor Cuomo, Mayor De Blasio, originally they were doing the meals for the kids, because that was one of his biggest concerns of closing down the schools, because people are like, well, why won't you close down the schools? Because some kids, that's their only meal when they come to school. And then a lot of the first responders, school is in a lot of cases daycare for parents. Some parents can't go to work. If they have small children, they can't, you can't leave them there by yourself. And then in a situation like this, where are they going to go? Because everybody is got to be, locked down in their own home. But now they are allowing anyone who wants to eat to get the 3 meals in the city, which is great. I pay taxes there, so I love to see my tax dollars go to something good like that. I was telling my daughter, there's a guy that I see every morning on 9th Avenue, and he just sits in front of this store. He sits in front of the store. It's an African American man, and I see him every morning, and I should just say, first I used to walk by him, and then just one day I just said hi to him. So then when he would see me, I'd say hi. He never asked anyone for anything. So every once in a while, like, what I'll do, I'll make sure I have the money in my pocket, because you can't open up no kind of purses, anything that got money related when you're in Manhattan. So I will just give him something, and it's really discreet. He and he never, you could walk by him another 100 times and not give him anything, and he would just be like, hi, good morning. And I was wondering what happened to him. How is that guy doing? Like, is he still alive? They said a lot of homeless people passed away, and and he also would he gets, people like that, they stay alive by the generosity of others. So there's no one to look out, or sometimes the stores, they'll allow them to, they give them a little something to eat. So just sad. There's these ladies that are in Port Authority. I think they're Mexican, because I think they're speaking Spanish, but they always call me mommy, even though they're little old ladies. And if you're in the Dunkin', they'll be like standing around the Dunkin' Donuts. So sometimes I just go, and I know the one lady, she likes tea and a banana, so, I'll go over and get her tea and banana, just thinking about those people. Utah County sees 75% increase in domestic. Wow. See that? Utah, places like that, where you, whew, yeah. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. There's a lot that's going to come out of this. We need a healing, and the person, I feel like the person that's in charge of the country right now, I'm like, this is the worst time to be led by a fool, because he's a fool. And unfortunately, he's the person that has the keys to so many things as far as the resources, you see the poor governors there, and it's a juggling act, and you have him telling people it's not that bad, and when it is bad, and as far as the being infected, this is yeah. I'm like, if Hillary had been the president now, we were watching something about how Obama handled the H1N1, and all the lies that what's his name is telling. about the previous administration. He's just lying. He takes credit for everything Obama did that continues to do well, makes him look good. Anything else that happens, he takes responsibility for nothing. 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 I mean, no matter what it is, like I've never seen a leader. If you're a leader, you have to take responsibility. Let me tell you, I'm a leader at work. Sometimes things happen on my shift. I'm on vacation. I'm not even there. They call me up. Tell me, why did such and such happen? I wasn't even there. But it's my responsibility. It's my responsibility, and you have to take responsibility, and then you have to do a thing. You have to humble yourself, take responsibility, and then moving forward. He can't do that. It's not in him. He is a circus. He really is. And the thing is, I've been following Trump since the 80s, and I knew how horrible he was, that he was a liar. He was a cheater. He would shortchange people for money, for contractors. He would never pay them and then sue them and hold it up in court. He bankrupted everything. He bankrupted Atlantic City. Every business he had, he bankrupted. And I couldn't even believe. I was like, besides the television show, I was like, what do people, I just couldn't understand what the appeal was. But, I think we kind of really know what the appeal was from him. So it's just nuts. And it's like, this is the worst time to have someone like this. Even any other Republican president, like even if you didn't agree with them, they would not have they would not have let this go on. They would have deferred to the experts. He doesn't do it. He sat there at the CDC and said, the doctors were amazed how much he got, how much he understood. And he could have been a doctor. He couldn't have been anything but what he is, which was his father was loaded, was a billionaire. That's it. Now, once he saw Cuomo gaining popularity with the news briefs, here he comes. Now it's every day. I don't know if you saw today when he had the PowerPoint presentation when he lied and talked about how he responded, but he left the whole month of February out. I think January and February, at the end of January and February, when he was calling it a hoax and it was only going to be 15 people and there was one person who was going to die and that was it. He left all of that out and went straight to when he knew he had to start to act. I couldn't believe it. He yells at the press. He screams at them. He fights with reporters. He degrades everyone. Yes, he is a narcissist. It's crazy. He is frightening. Yep. It is a circus. I remember when Obama called him a carnival barker. And I had never heard that before. And I laughed so hard that day. And this was over the, what did he gain popularity? The birth certificate. That was it, the birth certificate. He was a birther. He started the birther movement. So, the thing is, here we are. So, like I said, I feel like the governors, they're trying to make the best out of a really messed up situation. Because as you can see, if they say anything, he's going to withhold things from you. He's going to get on TV and mock you, and then his supporters, look at what they're doing now. You know, they call themselves patriots, but they are swarming capitals with guns. You know, they are holding up traffic. Today, I saw pictures of them confronting healthcare workers in the street, saying that this is a hoax. And they were so I'm like, okay, now you already know if those were black people who were doing anything remotely close to that, it would be over with. I was like, first of all, where are the police? Where are they? Where are they? These people are not following whatever the laws are because they only believe in the laws when they want to abide by them. And everybody else has to always abide by them. You know, black people can't mouth off at the cops. You know, if you're mouthing off, you know, and you're unarmed, you can get shot and killed. And it's like, it's justified, but they will buck up, come with a gun, say what they're not going to do. And we're, you know, it's like, it's okay. They're patriots. They, you know, they deserve to do that. So it's, yeah, this is a bad time. And I'm still mad at anybody that didn't vote. I'm really truly mad at African Americans who didn't vote. You know, the hoteps that went out there telling people not to vote for Hillary. And this is where we are. You know, I remember I used to always repost this thing that said vote or die, you know, and now I feel like this is the result of it. You know, I don't know if you guys are following the money trail for that small business bailout that they had when big businesses are getting the money. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse got, I think it was 300 million or some crazy number like that. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse is not a small business. I don't know if you guys have been there, you know, and it's a medium to high range steakhouse. It's not like it's not a little mom and pop shop, you know. I don't know who that is calling me from New York. I'm not answering it, but I'll turn it off. Yeah, and then the guy that they put over, who was in charge of the money, it was one of Trump's friends that of course, he had no experience in anything like that. It's a money grab. It's definitely a money grab. Little mom and pop shops who really needed that money. Because you could be a business under 500 people, but you know, if you know your business can be, you know, billion, you know, you can make billions. But they were talking about people who, you know, maybe a little restaurant, maybe a guy that you know, has a company that installs windows, people like that. That's who really needed this money. And they were telling them, you know, to keep the people on the payroll. I believe that's what they had to do. You had to keep your employees on the payroll and pay them in hopes to get this loan that was, you know, it was sort of like a grant. Now they're doing it, and then within a week, they're like, the money is gone. So they're taking advantage, you know, of people in the worst possible time. It's really, it's unbelievable. It really is. And I used to say, you know, when is it going to end? It can't get any worse with this man. And it just keeps getting worse. And he becomes more and more emboldened because the people that follow him, remember he said that he could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and they still follow him. And, you know, at that point I was like, oh, you know, you're tripping, but he knows it. And it's true. It's absolutely true. They have even asked a lot of them, you know, if he did that, and they were like, yeah, I'd still vote for him. So, you know, that's why we really have to work to get this monster and his monsterettes and ors out of here, because this is too much. It's too much. We all work so hard, you know, to try to do the best we can for our families, and And here you have, people are just going to lose everything. But that's what I was saying to Emma Peel. You have to really work on, try to get in tune with, whatever you find, your spirituality or your core, your center, because we really have to get into our mental health right now, because this is a scary time, and it's a time we're worried. So we have to do something to try to calm ourselves, to try to, like I said, become centered, because otherwise, we're not going to make it. I mean, we may make it physically, but then mentally, we're not good. So, whether it's prayer or light a candle, chant, meditate, manifest, we have to do, breathe. We have to do something, maybe, turn off the news, and I'm a person that I watch the news, even when it's, bad, good, and, whatever. I usually watch it, but there's sometimes when I can't take him, so I'll just do something like, I'll like read the New York Times or the Washington Post, but the sensational, 24-hour cable, it's like they're saying the same thing over and over and over again. They get the four, every hour there's four more, panelists, guests that come on, and they ask them the same questions, and it's, sometimes it just gets to be a lot, and that's depressing. So, Trump was upset when the coronavirus took center stage over him. In my mind, people are dying every day, numbers beyond belief. But what is important to Trump is fighting with Chris. Yeah, yeah. He cannot let anything go, and people said that about him. He can't let anything go. Any slight or perceived slight, he has to address it, and he's obsessed with it. And one thing I remember when they had the Republican National Convention, and they had the Democratic National Convention, because I really like watching the conventions. The Republicans are so funny, because then they'll like parade out, like 4 or 5 black people. I don't know where they got them from, but talked about that last night on my live. Depression is an all-time high right now. We have to give a voice to mental health. Yes, like you're doing, and encourage solutions on how to get through this. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have to, I was even thinking like my mom, because I was sick, so I haven't seen my mom, hug my mom, and we're like a touchy, we're a love family. So since I'm feeling better, my daughter and I, we're gonna make some signs, and then we're gonna go over to my mother's, and we're gonna put the signs out and blow the horns and stuff. I think because I just did not want to, with the cold or anything, I just didn't want to take a chance on being around her, and she just turned 80 years old, so we got to make sure Nana is with us. But yeah, we got to do some things. I mean, my daughter and I, like, we were just doing like little fun things, and some things I've noticed, like I was noticing the TikToks and some of the things where I saw families, doing dances and things together. So I think some people are trying to do things, but then we have people who are, like we said before, not happy at home, or you have people who are, they are home alone. So, we have to find a way to connect, and to reach out and really connect with our loved ones. We really do. We really do, because you don't know. I mean, normally we don't know what someone is going through. Depression is real. I mean, I have suffered from depression for many years. I have, I've been through therapy, my daughter and I, for many years. The counseling, we did separate, we did it together. Had a really bad divorce, and my daughter's, my ex-husband, he's not in my daughter's life. So, that's the struggle that she's had, where I've overcompensated. But that's just a void I can't fill, and that's a hurt that no matter what, I can't make better. So it's been tough for us. She's 20, she'll be 21 this year. She's a really, really great kid. I mean, she's really a sweetheart. She gives me no trouble, except for when she was like, oh no, 12, 13, 14, 15. She was terrible. And now she's a doll. But she's even finding ways. Like she was telling me, she's has discovered manifesting, and things like that. So the deep breathing, and YouTube. Emma Peel, YouTube, they do actually have a lot of uh, uh, videos for like meditation, like before you go to sleep. So you're not sleeping and thinking about, all the things that you have going on in your mind. You don't want to take that into your sleep. So you can just, watch those videos, and then there's like breathing exercises, and then you can leave it on, and they stay on for like 8-10 hours. So, and then you can just have some positive things instead of all the negative that we have. Trump never mentions God. It's like he cannot mention someone. Oh, absolutely. And when he does mention anything to do with the Bible or anything, it sounds so disingenuous. It's like somebody just told you to say that. Remember when he said for 2 Corinthians, he said 2 Corinthians, and I was like, wow, he was like, that's my favorite. It's 2 Corinthians. That was so stupid. Absolutely. Also those who have lost spouses, children, loved ones, and yes, to say goodbye. That is unbelievable. And also for those healthcare workers that were there with them and have witnessed this, like to not be able to say goodbye. And I was watching this one little, not documentary, but they were doing they had covered one of I forget which hospital in New York, and they had the camera focused on the person that had to call the family members to tell them that the person wasn't going to make it, and he was saying that sometimes people are upset, some are crying, some in disbelief. A lot of the nurses were, starting to do FaceTime, so they could at least FaceTime their loved one before they departed. So it's very, very scary. So people have now had to learn to grieve alone. So if you lose your parent and you have siblings, you can't even come together to grieve properly. So the whole grieving process is even off now, where that's something that we've learned to rely on one another when we grieve. So, that's something we can't do properly, it's kind of throwing the order. It's like the natural order is so off right now. And it's like, we do need a healing. And maybe this is God's way of getting our attention, just the world, the things that are important to us, the values that we've kind of stepped away from our grandparents, great grandparents. I'm in this group on Facebook. So Kinky Locks, you look really young, but let me tell you, for older women such as myself, when we were coming up, when I first started working, I was, it was in the 80s. So there was a respect level that people gave older people. And then younger people, younger people would give a certain respect to older people. And in return, older people would sort of take younger people under their wing. to me, that really does not, that it's like that doesn't happen anymore. And people, you can't trust people nowadays because people will, you know, sometimes you offer friendship and people will take advantage of that. So you have to be leery of, of that. I mean, our our neighborhoods they definitely were a village. I remember growing up, we had certain women in our neighborhood that you could not do anything, you couldn't do anything, you know, because they were going to tell, and everybody like looked out for one another. Now it's not so much. It's just like this. You could see a sitting president. Oh, let me come back to that about the former presidents. Yes, his underneath. Joining on the first responders, right? Have to stand in the gap. Like, yes. Oh, okay. So I'm still a little. I got you by some years, but okay. So we're in the range. Okay, so we're in the range. So you know what I'm talking about. But let me get back to what you were saying, Emma Peel, about the former presidents, because usually in natural disasters, the former presidents offer their services, their guidance, as the elders to the sitting president. He doesn't want that. They even asked him. I don't even think they asked him, would you accept, help from the former presidents? And he said no. He doesn't need them. He's got his own people. See that he's just he's so arrogant in that way. Hi, Rayun. Rayun, how are you? Welcome. But he's so arrogant, he would not want to accept help from them. And to me, this is a time when, you put party politics aside. You see, the other day, yesterday I saw that the two former first ladies, Michelle Obama and Laura Bush, were doing something together, and they all, the Bush women, which is something that I really admired about them. It's like a club, you know what I mean? Like the former first ladies, the children, and Laura Bush really opened up her arms to Michelle Obama and those girls, and so did the Bush girls, because they know that there's no one, there's just a handful of people in the world that can identify with that has had that experience. There's only been 45, men that have had the experience of being president of the United States. So, those children, they're not going to meet a whole lot of other people who have been through what they have been through. And when whatever other disasters came about, I believe it was when I guess it was H1N1, when Clinton and Bush reached out and they helped Obama. And they always do. This is something that former presidents do, but it will never happen with him, ever, ever. Because he doesn't want, first of all, he's so intimidated by Obama, and he doesn't want the shine. He doesn't want anything. And, I don't know too much the wife, Melania. I don't know. She doesn't seem like I don't know. I don't think she's part of that first ladies club thing either. So, okay, let me see. What? Right. The first responders, they are going to really need, like, I have a couple of friends that are nurses, and, I had like sent little, money. I didn't know what to do. I just felt like, oh my God, one is an ER nurse and she's in North Carolina. So I sent money like to buy, lunch for their crew, one day. And then I have another friend here that's it's a guy nurse, and I was just say a guy nurse. He's a nurse and he's a guy. In Pennsylvania, and I tried, I did the same thing. Then I have a girlfriend that I grew up with. She works in labor and delivery, which is, super scary to me, like to have, because they do have positive moms coming in, and so also I've reached out to her to do a little something, but what they're going through, that's why I think those people who are protesting, they should make them come to the ER, to the coronavirus wing of these hospitals to see these people gasping for breath. Some of my staff who live in Queens, two live very near Elmhurst Hospital. That hospital was hit super, super hard. And they said they could see people, the lines and lines of people, but they did not leave. I mean, a lot of my friends in New York, they have not left their house in over a month. They have not left because they are scared. I have one who lives right across the street from our job. She lives, in Times Square area, and she has not left. And she said she was down to, I forgot what she said. She had like some kind of pasta, and that was it. But and there's a place right across the street from her, but she's like, she's not going out. So just to know what, I know, my job, is one thing, but I don't have that in me. I don't. I was never a person that I felt like could do anything medically as far as helping people. I could help my family members. Like I could help a person on the street kind of thing. But like when it comes to like now the person is, got hit by a car and now I wouldn't be able to handle it because I would be in there crying and everybody would have to live, everything would have to go well because I wouldn't be able to handle it. Because you have to not only have that empathy, but you have to be able to deal with things and then move on and not let it bother you. And that's somewhere I don't think I would be able to do, especially for like if it was babies and children involved or old people, he's ego sickening beyond measure. Science. Oh, that's so true. His ego is magnanimous. It's so true. He is full of pride. He is full of pride. And I thought that this is what will humble him, but it won't humble him. I don't know. And I almost feel like the only thing that will humble him, the only thing I've ever seen that I feel like he really, really cares about is like his child and I think himself, that the one daughter. I don't think anything else humbles him. I don't think anything else. I'm not going to say he doesn't care about his other kid, but it just seems like it's something about her. And he's not teachable because most people, can look back at something and at least say, you know what, well, this is what I learned from it. But he doesn't learn anything because he thinks he knows everything. So how would he learn if he already knows everything? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Well, we're going to have to really pray, meditate, think, do whatever we can to try to make it through, talk to the universe, to try to, bring about a healing. I know in some of the other countries, some of the cases have been going down, but those countries they have not rushed to go back. I think maybe, and I think I can't remember which one it was. They said that they saw a spike and they were just starting to try to maybe go back. But this is something that is bigger than all of us. Yep, it's a lesson. Yes, it is. People take so many things for granted, and I was saying when I first, I was like always saying, man, I wish I could work from home. I want to be home. I want to be home. I want to be home. It's so hard. I got to go back and forth to the city. So then, boom, I was home. But then I was sick and I was scared. And then now you're home, but you can't go anywhere, So you think about that because a lot of times we ask for things in a way it winds up and then you realize, well, wow, that's not exactly what I meant. But we do have to listen, the things that we take for granted, the things that we, the planning, you can't, some things you can't plan for, but some things you can. And to even like the things like the resources in the house. I remember, I had a lot of stuff because I would get things from when I did my daughter's haul for her dorms. So, I have these big things of hand sanitizer. I paid $5 for Purell that I got like at Big Lots, like in the summertime, or I don't know how long I had it because I would just get stuff. And now, the fact that things like that aren't, they aren't available, like to always, like to just to have a certain amount of things on hand for your family. I remember maybe about a year or so ago, it was, I don't know, and maybe 2 years ago, after one of the floods, and I had passed out this preparedness thing for a bunch of people. And I was forever working on that, where you would have to possibly get a backpack and just go. Because the one thing about this whole situation is we've been able to deal with it at home. Can you imagine if we had to leave? If you could not stay in your home and you had to go somewhere else, like those people in places like Syria or somewhere like that, where you'd have to basically take all you have, put it on your back, not even take your car, but put it on your back and just start to walk and not know where you're going and to try to be accepted somewhere else. So in this regard, most of us were home. The cable companies have decided to leave the cable on so you can watch television. You can talk on your phone. Your kids can play games. We're still able to go to the store, to get things. At first, I remember I got so much stuff. I got so much meat. I got a refrigerator. And I got another refrigerator in the garage. I got so much because I thought, when they said that it was going to be in stay in place order, we kind of at first thought that we weren't going to be able to leave the house, period. So, I wound up getting a lot of stuff, but which is good, Let's see. Humility knows that mistakes and that are part of life. A humble person recognizes their own limitation and will reach out for guidance and education. That's true. That's true, right? All of that, all of those things, and I'm thinking none of those. He has none of that because he doesn't. He isn't humble, and he would never want guidance and forget education. He just no. That's never going to happen with him. But yeah. So the situation we have is bad. It could be so much worse. Like I said, it could be worse if we were to have to leave, or I've never been in a real like natural disaster like that type of thing where you'd have to, where your house is destroyed. I mean, there are people that have been through things like that. So, this is bad. And then because I said to myself, I said, look, if it gets to the point, even though, I like my, except for my mama would always come and stay with me. I love my brothers and them, but, but if it came to the point where it's just like, look, everybody has to stay in one house, because that's what we used to do back in the day, and then we got away from that, family was like this, it was more nuclear. Now it's like, everybody wants to have their own space and everybody wants to do their own thing. So you're totally right, Kinky. There are lessons to be learned here. I saw a meme one day that said, if you're feeling lonely or whatever, by being in the house and not having anyone, to come by or whatever, that's what your parents feel like. That's what your grandparents feel like, where, luckily I'm not, that's not the type of relationship we have with my mom, and my dad, who passed away a few years ago. I mean, we're really like a really close family. So we do everything together. So it's hard for us because we're small, small group, but we do everything together. I mean, for everybody's birthday, everybody, we do everything, every holiday, we all spend together. Even if we want to do something on our own, we still have our thing that we do together. Whoever's birthday it is, it's not even like a big thing. We just kind of have a cake and everybody comes over. because family really is important. I mean, but then again, everybody's family is not the same. So some people have family that they can't be family with. So you have to kind of go out and make your own family, because some families are really toxic and you got to kind of stay away from them. I mean, I have extended family members that are like that. So, you know, definitely you have to be careful. Be careful and, love one another, you know, and be worthy of love. And this is a time for self-reflection, right? This is a time, look, I sat here and I have gained so much weight and I'm like, okay, so now I got to get, my body together. But this is really a time to really for self-reflection. What are the things that I need to do to be a better me? What can I do to offer a better Foxie to the world? I was about to say my name, my real name. But what can I do? I mean, I think we do spend a lot of time looking outward. So this is a time, because we got time now. Somebody was telling me something the other day and she was about to say, well, I don't have time. And she stopped, because I was like, all we got is time right now. We have time. I think one of the reasons that I was so happy to be home, so I started doing projects around the house when I was sick, and that's why I kept I wasn't getting better, because then I would start going to the garage, and my mother was like, oh, it's like dusty in there, and trying to put things together and do stuff. So you have to take it easy too. But this is the time. I mean, because some of us, you know what? Some of us just really needed like a minute or maybe a month to just chill, to just let things go for a minute, because we're always so much on the go. And definitely in this area is this hustle and bustle and fast, 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 fast. Everything is fast, 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 fast. It's no just moving slow. Everything is fast. I mean, I get to work early, and it doesn't matter if I get to work early or not. It's a rush because everybody is rushing on that street, so it's we have to be. These things are in my way, my little pop-ups. Oh, I can't see what you guys are saying. Allows people to be. Oh, it's like him saying you're on the right track. Wow, that's great. Yes. Yes. I have to definitely catch your live. So do you have like a normal routine that you do, kinky, that you do your videos? Because this is my first time doing video today in about a month and a half, 2 months. I don't know, it's been a minute. But I work overnight, so I will try to catch. But I'll definitely go on. I'm gonna subscribe if I'm not subscribed to you already. I don't know if we had hooked up through like through one of those what do you call it? Not gatherings, but I don't want to call them subs, but you know what I mean, where we're becoming family with people. Man in the mirror. My father used to say that all the time. Personal development. Yes. Yes. That's it. Creativity. Isn't that so important? Like, to find creative ways, to, like, just creative outlets. That is so important. That's something when my daughter and I, when she was really going through a lot, when she was in not her early teens, but maybe mid-teens, the therapist had suggested we do art classes, and that was really, really cool. I mean, we did like real art class. It wasn't like just drawing. I mean, it was really serious art classes. I was so tired, but I did it with her. Every Sunday I'm live from 8 Is that 8 a.m. to 10? But I've also been having virtual tea parties on Sundays live as well from 6 to 7 p.m. So the 8 to 10, is that 8 a.m. or p.m., sis? 6 to 7. Quarantine style. Okay, p.m. Okay. Now, see, the thing with me, since I work overnight, sometimes I'm like sleeping. That might be a time, but I'm going to try to definitely, because I start working on Sunday nights. From 8 to, okay. But I'll definitely catch you. Oh, okay, so both twice a week. Okay, so and then I could also watch your lives later because I'll definitely do that. Um, Absolutely, I'll definitely do that. Definitely time to work on ourselves and think about the mistakes we have made with others. Yes, that's right. To think about them, but you know what? Don't dwell on it. Think about it and think about what we'll do next, though, Emma. Because I don't want to leave thinking that you are like in a sad place. I mean, I understand. I mean that the sadness is real right now. It's real, and you have to give voice to that and understand that it's there. But also, we got to offer you something here. Like I said, if you try, I don't know what you do for your spirituality or if you do anything for your spirituality, but definitely try checking out before you go to bed. Or if you're trying to fall asleep, one of those videos, one of those relaxation videos on YouTube, where it's just soft music and then there's maybe a person just guiding your breath, and then you'll be surprised how fast you go to sleep and just let that play. Try that for, like 5 days and just see if that helps you to sleep, And some of them are positive affirmations, things that you want to do, or while you're breathing, you're thinking of something positive that you want in your life, that'll be awesome, because we want to make sure that we don't lose people, we don't want to lose you. We want you to come out better or on the other side, with the rest of us. But I know, what time is it? It's 3 o'clock. I am going to have to take a little nap because I've been up. Oh, yeah, I've been up since yesterday. This was a really great talk. Kinky Locks, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I will definitely check you out. I'm going to subscribe and then I'll listen to your videos and comment. I know, like I said, I work overnight. So if you see comments at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, don't be alarmed. That's just the time that I'm like, I'm up and I'm a night stalker. So I'll be up around that time. But yeah, so this is cool. I'm trying to. Kinky Lux, are you monetized or are you trying to get monetized? Because I just have 200. I just got to 200 subscribers. So I'm still new, and like I said, I went for like almost 2 months without posting anything. Yes, we're going to definitely keep Emma Pill in prayer. Yes, absolutely. Well, you know what? If you, hopefully they're the good highlights. I'm too awesome. Woo! Oh my goodness! Congratulations! Wow, that's awesome. I got a minute. I have like 1,500, like just at 1,500 hours. So I got a little ways to go. I remember when I had 2 hours. So, that is awesome. I'm so proud of you. Now, how many subscribers do you have? Thank you, quadruple. Yeah, Emma Peel. So we're gonna make sure you're gonna let me know how it goes when you're gonna, in a few days. 15. Okay, so you right there. So you don't have to. So you're there. So you already got the subscribers, and 200 hours. So I'm gonna be running. Let me tell you something. I have 2 monitors here. I have 2, and they're not hooked up. I want to hook them up together so I can have for work. But this one is right now they're independent. So I'm gonna run your I'm just gonna run your videos tonight. So we're gonna try to hurry up and get you to that 200. So you can go ahead and be in the land of a monetization. That's where we want to be, eventually, right? We want to get that yep. You're welcome. You're welcome, dear. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go. Thank you so much, Emma Peel, Kiki Locks. This was great. I love you guys for sitting here with me for all this time. This is awesome. I don't really do lives. Like, I've done like a couple of them. So, I want to become more comfortable because I understand that's also, the best way to sort of to get monetized. So I'm going to do that, and just trying to keep grinding and putting things out. As the political season starts up again, I'm going to be doing more things like that, but also do other stuff. So we'll see. You too. Thank you so much. And you guys have an awesome day. Be safe. And I'll keep everybody in my prayers. Okay. Take care, you guys. Peace and blessings. Bye.